And I don't know if we hit the video right, but we're late, and I'm gonna blame myself because I had to get a little fade and wash these grays away, which is all good. You're tuning in to Win Daily NBA DFS pre-lock core value props for profit show. I want to thank Nick and Adam for holding it down for me last night while I was at the Sixers game. Unfortunately, watching them get beat by the Washington Wizards, which I'm still trying to think about what I saw. Um, Kyle Kuzma and Daniel Gafford and Raul Neto. Are you kidding me? I don't know how that happens. I really don't. But I'm sure we'll get into all that. Some news coming in. But again, Nick, thanks for holding down last night. I know you were clicking a lot, but is your hand okay?
Bro, I don't know how you do this. There is so much. Like, I was tripping, man. I was like, yo, where's the picture? I was like, where's our Props for Profit picture? And I'm like, oh, it's there. And then I would look at the screen for a second because I don't want to be talking like this. Then I'd look and I'm like, oh man, I just lost the picture again. And I'm like, so I was like, oh my God. Yeah, it was a good time, but happy everything worked out. And here to make some more money. We absolutely crushed it again yesterday. We're on a crazy run.
Anthony Davis.
3 weeks.
Anthony Davis.
Well, it depends on who you listened to last night.
I was crushed. Bro,
my bets keep getting mushed on the show.
This man's at like, I think he hit like 15. It was like right halfway. I need 30 plus. He was at 15 at half or 16, whatever it was. It was pretty much halfway there. I was like, okay, he's gonna come out big second half here, and that's just what AD does. I see him going on the stripe. He's at 28 points and he misses back-to-back free throws.
He did miss a couple at the end. It was making.
I was like, if this guy just cost me so much money because he couldn't hit 2 free throws at the end of the game, I'm actually going to be devastated. And then he went back to the stripe again, and he only hit 1 out of 2. And I was
he definitely was toying with.
I was like, okay, no, now he's just messing with me, hitting 1 out of 2. Like, come on! And it took a third visit to the charity stripe for him to get another free throw in, which he went 1 for 2 again. And I was like, okay, whatever. He hit 30 plus. I don't care. I'm calling that night. But it was a sweaty one, but we'll take it.
Okay. It's okay. As long as the sweat is worth it, right?
A win's a win.
Yes.
Doesn't matter by how much. It wins. No. And he could have hit 45. He could have hit 30 round the dot like he did. I was A-okay with it.
Yo, Dan checking says mortgage payment on the line. Give me your best. I hope. Listen.
We don't recommend that.
Responsible. I will not. Yeah, like we got to get a line. You know how they said call 1-800-GAMBLER? We're just gonna call 1-800-WIN-DAILY. Okay, something like we're not responsible. Okay, let's throw that out there right now. No, Dan, don't put your mortgage payment up there. Please. Al, what's up, Al? Adam checking in. Theo checking in. Brian checking in said, "Don't trust Adam. He hates KLB."
I didn't say I hated him. I said Brian's not a KLB whisperer because he says it every slate. It doesn't count. Listen, if you say it every slate, you have to be right more often than not.
Yes. No, you're right. You're right. And again, tonight, we got some very interesting, only 6 games. I'm curious to see because my boy DeJounte Murray is out, so I can't bet my props for profit on 1.5 threes. I can't do it tonight. So it might actually save me because I'm 1 for 4 with that bet. Okay. So it hasn't worked out well for me at all. But let me get to this, guys. And Adam, we'll go with you first because we always go to Gosa. Well, we'll flip up the script a little bit here. When you're looking at 6 games, and obviously they're spread out, right? You have the 7:30 games for the 4 of them. You have the 2 late games. Are you more focused on those later game slates, or you're more focused on the earlier? You're going to try to combine them depending on what format you play.
Yeah, so there's really one game that's going to carry the bulk of the rostership tonight, and it's going to be the Heat and the Spurs. Which, if you're unaware, it did get moved up to 7. There's some inclement weather heading towards San Antonio, so it does lock with the rest of the slate. So just make sure you know that when you get things set up, that game locks immediately. So don't, DK sent out their notice and everything, but with DeJounte out, Jakob Poeltl's out, Doug McDermott's out. A lot of these guys are going to be super popular. And, of course, Greg Popovich has to be Greg Popovich. We all assumed Drew Eubanks would start in Poeltl's spot. He'd be the chalk of the slate. And as of right now, they're expecting to start Thad Young instead of Drew Eubanks. So it's kind of thrown a wrench into some things. The good thing is we'll know before the slate locks, which actually kind of works to our favor because this game would have been later. them bumping it up actually helps us a good bit tonight.
I did not know that was bumped up. Again, that's why we do this show, because sometimes you have time, sometimes you don't. Tonight, didn't have that much time. So I'm glad that Adam has told you that. And again, that's why we're here. Follow us at Win Daily Sports, always sponsored by the Sharp app, your one-stop shop for betting when it comes to props and even money lines. But on this show specifically, we do props for profit. And Nick, again, last night, Anthony Davis, I called it out there. I tried to get the video clip. Phone wasn't producing, but if you go check out Twitter at Win Daily Sports, you can see the number, the line that Nick predicted. And again, you got the 30. But man, you were like right on the money with Anthony Davis last night. God tell you.
It was, thank you. It was, I don't even want to say I was disappointed. I don't care at that point, but it was, I predicted 33, 12, and 4, and he grabbed 3 rebounds in like the last 3 to 4 possessions of the game because Portland was just throwing up shots. And I was like, oh man, it would have been sick if he finished at exactly 12 rebounds. But yeah, it was a really good night last night. Very good night. Hit 2 out of 3 spreads. Also, if anyone, is out there in Brooklyn and sees James Harden, tell him I just want to talk. But that's a different
I think his
story
teammates
from-
might want to talk after last night. Good Lord.
If you told me last night
awful.
that James Harden would drop 2 points against Sacramento, I would
I would
don't
have
even know
sat
what I
the
would do.
entire slate out.
I don't even know what I would do. That was absurd.
I mean,
but
listen, it was a bad omen when the chalk play of the slate twists his ankle 23 seconds into the game. I mean,
that was
literally,
iconic.
your GPP lineups are literally drawing dead like 20 seconds into the slate. So it was, it was kind of one of those slates as far as that stuff goes.
And Jimmy says Steph and AD is easy fit tonight. So here's the thing, though. I got this sneaky suspicion, and I may be wrong, but I think AD may sit tonight. Coming off, it's a back-to-back. You never know what they're going to do. What do you guys think? Do you think that there's a possibility that he sits tonight?
He's listed as probable, so I don't.
Oh,
think
they did
he's
move him
going
up.
to.
Okay.
They did move him up to probable. I mean, listen, the Lakers don't really have that luxury anymore. Like,
That's true.
it sounds kind of silly because we're not even quite at the All-Star break yet. They're like hovering around 500, man. Like, they don't want to be sitting there at the 7th seed and having to take on, Phoenix or Golden State or Utah in that first round. They want to try and improve the seeding to some extent if they can. And Davis has played 2 previous back-to-backs. It's not like he hasn't played it at all. And honestly, you just throw him in the utility spot, right? Because if he's out, you have some options towards the end of the night. Not great ones because you're kind of stuck. Like, if you're already playing Curry, you're pretty much stuck with Westbrook, which is never fun. But at least it would be Westbrook without AD and LeBron on the floor. And hey, it's better than taking a 0, right?
No, you're right. You're right. You made a great point because, again, just for everybody listening, he says put him in your utility spot because obviously, you don't want to get stuck where you have him in your, whether in your power forward spot or your center spot, and all of a sudden now, you're stuck getting some stiff center that you got to throw in there, right, to fill up.
Right.
So now, you put him in your utility, and it's good to go. So that's a great point. But we already got a Van Vliet question here. Do I go Van Vliet? Do I go Levine or Adebayo in tiers? Acer is obviously Ace Gamer is a tier guy. We get the tier questions all the time, which is great. Gives us a little flip up. But Nick, what do you think, man? Van Vliet, Levine, or your boy Bam?
That's tough, man. I really like Bam Adebayo tonight.
I do as well.
I feel like it's more of a DeRozan night.
Bad Young guarding him.
Oh,
we're
That's
saying
gonna be
Young on Bam.
yes.
I think I'm going Bam or FEV in that one. I don't think I'm touching Levine.
And the other thing too is your 7's out for the Heat, so it's really just Dwayne Dedmon as a backup center. And you saw last game, I think Bam played like 38 something minutes, something like that. It was high. It was 35. So it was, a couple more minutes, and he's accustomed to playing. So I really like Bam in this spot.
Yeah, I'll go with both of you guys, definitely. Especially, I mean, you make two great points because Thad Young. I mean, Jesus Christ, when has Thad Young been relevant, right? I remember him in the Philly days, for Christ's sake, right? At the end of the day, man, and that's who I remember. And he had his heyday in Chicago. But yeah, I completely agree. I like that. For real. Jimmy checking in says, "Don't worry, Adam. They are making they are making even the play in the game. They ain't making even the play in the game." Brian says, "I want my apology." I don't know what that's for, Adam. We got an apology going out there. I don't know.
Listen, Kevin Love's a good player, man, and I kind of think he deserves more love for Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he should win it, but he should be in the conversation at least.
Oh, wait, hold on. Ryan says, "Can you talk more about why not Russ? Primary ball handlers versus the clip shot."
That's typically accurate, but Russell Westbrook is, how do I put this kindly, not good this year. He's right. We do love primary ball handlers against Clippers, but
I'm glad you said that.
So bad.
What happened? Like, this was a triple-double machine last. Like, what happened to Russ Westbrook, man?
I don't know if he's hurt, if he's, because like he is kind of a second half of the year guy. If he's just not, he didn't work well with AD and LeBron. It's just kind of like broken beyond repair. I don't know what the deal is, but it's not there, man. And 9,600 is not comfortable to pay for him.
That's a big number. That's a big number. I mean, I'd rather play book at 9,300, and I'm not even all in on book tonight. But right. I mean, that's minus 300. I couldn't pay 9,600 for Russ. No way, no way. Process the team. Tell us how you really feel, B.
Ain't wrong.
100%, man. Derek checking in says, "Yeah, he's already given names here. He's got that young. He got AD and Clay. I'll tell you what, Anthony Edwards, guys. I really like Anthony Edwards tonight. He's one of my favorite plays. I like him a lot. I like that matchup. But what do you think about Steph? It's the night you pay off for Steph at that guard position at 10-6. What do you think?
I know Adam wrote him up, so I'll let you take this one.
I mean, I'm going to give away part of my core early because Steph Curry is in my core. His price has come down to 10-4, so it's a little bit more palatable. Like, as good as Steph Curry is scoring the basketball, when he's over 11K, you start to have a harder path for him to really hit a true ceiling at that price point. But 10-4 against the Kings, yeah, I know the point spread's 13.5, but like you look and the Warriors haven't like been putting away those crap teams as well lately. Like they just, the Houston Rockets just hung with them for the entire game. And that was a game where Steph dropped 40 and the Rockets still hung with them until the very end and forced Curry to play the whole game. So I think you have two options there. I think either the Kings get blown out on a back-to-back, but if that happens, the odds are that Steph Curry is just lighting them on fire, or B, the game stays close the whole way and you get full run from Steph Curry. So under 10-5, I'm pretty interested.
How about you? You agree, Nick?
Yeah, I definitely want a piece of that game no matter what. I'm definitely playing at least one of Curry or Clay. I just don't know if I can get up to Steph just yet. Forward is so bad tonight. So
it's really bad.
I might have to pay up at forward, but to be determined. But yeah, I do like Steph tonight. Either way, it's if Golden State's blowing out Sacramento, if Golden State's blowing out anybody, it's because Curry's going nuts. So
I'll say this:
for me, it's a no-brainer. Like if you're taking that risk, you can't think about blowout or anything like that. Right. Just because if they're blowing them out, it's who else is going to blow them out? Like, Kevon Looney's not dropping 30 and 15. Like, who else is blowing them out? It's Steph and Clay. That's it.
I'm more playing Steph on DK. Yahoo, I'm playing Clay 100% because he's $18 on Yahoo, which is just an absurd price. Like, it's not even 10% of your budget on Yahoo. So,
see that, and that's the thing. You got to look at that money, man. It means so much. Salary is so much, and obviously ownership models, ownership percentages is so much too. You have to try to flip up the system now and then. And again, we got all kinds of comments coming in here. I'm trying to get to everybody. Curry, Devion run back for all the monies. Steph already dropped 40 because KPG poked the bear.
He did. It's so stupid from that kid. What was he thinking?
Oh, my God.
Who stares down Steph Curry and starts talking trash?
That's what I'm saying, man. That's like such a violation. Seriously. Like, we talk about that. That's like I was getting my hair cut. We were talking football a little bit, and I'll change course just for a second. And because one of my biggest violations was Jimmy G 2 weeks ago in Green Bay, acting like he did anything to win that game, coming off the field, like talking to the crowd, like, "Yo, we F the Packers." Dude, he sucked. He didn't do anything. Like, you got to have to actually do something to be able to talk trash, right? So, yeah, I agree, man. How do you talk trash to the GOAT when you're not even that good? It's crazy, man. Crazy. People are out of their mind.
So we did just get Cade Cunningham ruled out.
Oh,
I don't mind. I don't want to say
not the breaking news there. See, I got the
what the
breaking news
hell.
for you there.
Look at this.
Cade
We're
I was
getting-
gonna say, bro,
we're
my
getting-
earphones must be tripping. Like, what is going on right now?
I was like, what? Whoa, did I hit the wrong button? Did I
I
pull
was
something
like,
up for a second?
did
What's
I
happening?
connect to someone's phone outside or something? Like, what
I'm
is going
sorry. I
on?
didn't let you guys know. I got a bunch of drops, so I forgot to let you
Oh,
guys
man.
know. I apologize.
And we were just talking about forwards really bad. I don't want to say like I'm all in. I love this guy, but Jeremy Grant's a little bit more attractive at 6,500 with no K tonight.
I like that. I like Jeremy Grant 100%. We got Daniel checking in. Trent. Listen. I'm all in. I'm still on the Gary Trent Jr. wagon 100%. Vassal, Thad, Bam carried me to an AD. It's not a that. Listen, that's not a bad lineup. I mean, I don't know. Trey, do we have confirmation Trey's playing? That's the biggest thing.
I think he means Trey Jones.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who's
Okay, yeah,
drawn the start for Murray.
okay.
Which so
Good.
you have 3 Spurs there, but that kind of works because you don't have Derek White. So you're
That's
kind of
right, he is
hoping
out
you're
tonight.
kind of hoping Derek White's going to be kind of muted, and the other 3 pick up the slack. I don't mind that lineup. I really don't.
So Chris checking in says D'Lo is out.
Yeah, he's been out for a couple games now. I really wasn't kind of banking on him being in. And,
So-
and like Edwards, Cat, the guys we've been playing, totally fine options. I'm going different directions myself.
So let's get to, like we always do. Let's get to some cores, so we can see if we can get in here, get some cores, get some values, get some props, and get out of here so we can check the line. So Nick, we'll go right to you. Goes first. Let's see you got your core. That give us an idea of why you're going. I'm shocked to see the Booker name up there, man. I know you're not a big Booker guy, so this must be 6-game slate. You're falling into the book trap tonight.
No, I'm a huge book guy. I'm a huge book guy just for DFS.
It's almost 10K sometimes.
Yeah,
I know. That's what I mean.
I would start a franchise Devin Booker any day of the week. So I've been saying that for years, man. Devin Booker is just one of my dudes. But for me, it's gonna be one of Chris Paul or Devin Booker. I'm likely just duplicating the same lineup and just making one with Chris Paul, one with Devin Booker. But man, Atlanta just bleeds versus ball handlers, and Chris Paul and Devin Booker are one of the best backcourt tandems in the entire NBA right now. So for me, it's going to be absolutely need to play one of them. I was going Eubanks. I'm going to wait for the Mull update. I don't care that he's not starting. I just want to be able, when I get off air here, that I'll rerun the rotations and see what it looks like. If the minutes are high enough, I'm still playing him. So keep a lookout for that. I saw a lot of people yesterday say that they weren't aware of Terry Taylor. You guys need to be checking projections. I'm updating those things up until the last game tips off. So
Preach,
you need to
preach,
be able to see that. It's not just Discord. It's not just the show. You got to be able to maximize the tools. We have a ton of different things that we offer. Go and use those projections, man. My third core player is going to be Kelm Johnson. Look, a lot of people are going to flock towards I don't even want to say one player. It's going to be a combination of Trey Jones and Devin Vassell and Lonnie Walker and Thad Young and you, right? Like for me, it's the one position that really blows tonight is forward. So while yes, I like Trey Jones, yes, I like Vassell, yet like whoever else, for me, it's going to be Kelm Johnson, and he sees the greatest bump with everybody out like that. Everybody's flocking to Derek White. I get it. But these other cheap guards, I'm not saying that they won't hit value. There's a ridiculously high percentage that they will. But at what cost? That means that I can't play a Devin Booker. That means that your pay-up spots be completely different. And frankly, there are no good pay-up spots at forward outside of my last core member, which leads me to DeMar DeRozan. Facing his former franchise in Toronto, I talk about this matchup every time the Bulls take on the Raptors. It's just a solid matchup for DeRozan. He's able to find that soft spot in the zone, and he knows that defense inside and out. So for me to decide between a Chicago Bull and a Toronto Raptor tonight, I will be having one on each piece. Everyone knows which Raptor I'm playing at this point. But DeMar DeRozan is going to be my Chicago Bull of choice over Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic.
DeMar DeRozan. I love DeMar DeRozan. They're not necessarily always talking
King
about
in the
fame.
mid-range. King of
I
mid-range.
just like the player, dude. I've always liked the player, man. Loved him in Toronto. It's funny because I think he's, and Ghost, you might be able to say, because you watched him, but I feel like he's a different player in Chicago than he was in Toronto. Like I don't remember him being as I don't know the word I'm trying to look for. I don't want to say tough, but I just remember him being more guard-esque in my opinion, and being like more power-esque down. You know what I mean? So I like how
that's exactly it. The thing is that this is the best team that he's ever played with. He's never played with two players of Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic's stature, right? So to be able to, like, while yes, he's having the best season out of the three, he's still not the alpha dog on that team. It's Zach LaVine. And while people that'll look at the stats, they're gonna say it's DeMar. When you might even watch one game. Maybe tonight, if he ends up going off, you're gonna say, well, DeRozan leads that team on offense. It's not. Zach LaVine commands so much respect from opposing defenses that when DeMar all of a sudden has these soft spots in the mid range because everybody's kind of doing a 1-2 check on Zach LaVine, that's what ends up happening. And then you got Vooch down low in the paint too, is able to end up crashing the glass harder, and he's playing more of a forward style game, exactly the way that you said. He's able to transition from a really strong 2 guard to an imposing 3-and-D wing, and that for me is big. When you're playing with someone like Zach LaVine who can handle the ball, it's huge for his game.
That's a good point because he didn't have that ball handler. He was that ball handler in Toronto.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when him and Lowry shared the court, even Kyle Lowry, he matured a lot over his years in Toronto, and he became that ball handler when, in his last pretty much 2 seasons with the team. Like before that, he was still a good handler, but he wasn't what he is today, right? So it was mostly DeMar carrying up the ball all the time. So being able to play with Zach LaVine has been a big boost for DeMar DeRozan, and rightfully so.
Absolutely, and doesn't hurt having Vooch down low either. You know what I mean? So definitely. So you got Mark checking in and says, are those DK or FanDuel cores? So Mark, listen, we kind of do a mix of both, right? So whatever fits better for you. I can tell you that a lot of my cores are specifically DraftKings because I like the numbers. They're a little lower than what FanDuel is. But if you read the article that Adam and Ghost put out every single day, the gem article that you can get on WinDailySports.com, you see they'll tell you down there, they'll give you the difference. Sometimes they'll say, hey, it's a little too high on FanDuel, but we like his value on DraftKings, or if it's equal on both books. So it all depends on where you can get them. But for me, I could tell you that for my course specifically, and I'll go to that right now, is going to be full DraftKings. It's full DraftKings. And I love Steph tonight. I think this is that Steph Curry kind of night. I talk about that stuff all the time. It's a Steph Curry bomba kind of night, 4+ threes, 5+ threes. He's going to be raining threes. And I love Anthony Edwards against in my opinion, a shit Detroit team. I really like that play. I love Kelm Johnson. I mean, if you guys have been following, been playing the props for profit on Kelm Johnson over 15.5 points and been plus money consistently hitting on that. I love, and tonight he's going to get more minutes, more exposure, which I love. And the Gary Trent Jr. train. Listen, I said the other day, until he gets to 6,000, I might pull the reins back a little bit. He's at 6,100, but he's been so goddamn consistent. So he's 40 plus. So I'm going to ride it. I'm riding until he slows down because I could take 6,100 and probably spend somewhere else, but not get 41 plus. So I'm really liking Gary Trent Jr. tonight. And I know Ghost, he's a Toronto guy. I feel like he's finally found his spot. We just talked about DeRozan and, how he's found a spot in Chicago. I think the opposite is to say for Gary Trent Jr., right? So he finally comes to Toronto. I think he's finally getting his spot now. We got Allen got in early foul trouble last night from Keith. Says he helped too. Brian says, ride that shit out, Jigsaw. I said I wouldn't play KLB above 6.5. Here I am. So B, that's the problem. That's like, I keep saying I got really good ideas, but they keep pulling you back in, man. Keep pulling you back in. Here's a question, guys. So Jimmy wants to know, can I play Trent and Barnes together?
I'll let the Raptor expert answer on that one.
It's
We need a Toronto. We need the Toronto side here.
It's Trent and OG. If we're playing two Raptors tonight, if we're playing two of them together, it's going to be Trent and OG.
Matthew wants to know any
That's
thoughts
my
on
boy.
a guy like DeAndre Hunter tonight.
That's my boy. So we have a crazy prop on DeAndre Hunter tonight, and he called me earlier, and I was like, bro, this one's gonna make me sweat, but it's a pure model play. Gotta trust the math, and it's been crushing. So he told me no, we're sticking to the math. That's the reason why. It's the reason why I built it, and it takes out all the bias. So it's gonna be a sweaty one, but yeah, we're in on a DeAndre Hunter prop tonight that is going to make me sweat for a full 48 minutes. That's for sure.
Going to make you sweat till you bleed. And I'm old, so that's a CNC Music Factory, Josh. So I'm an old guy, so I'm just showing my age right there. So going to make you sweat. I'm going to play that music next week. But Adam, talk about your core. You got Curry, Davis, Eubanks, and White. How'd you come to this?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about Curry a good bit. I definitely think he's in for a pretty monster night here. I'm just going right back to the wall with Anthony Davis. Like I said, Lakers had to start piling up wins, especially against the Clippers team, which is neck and neck in the standings with them. It's just too important for him to kind of play passive, not have a big game. Eubanks, just same as Go said, guys, just pay attention to the model. We didn't expect Thad Young to be in the starting lineup. That does not mean Eubanks is just completely out of play. And just to kind of point this out, like Thad Young immediately went to 55% rostered. Drew Eubanks has dropped to 20%. So if the model still likes Eubanks, especially in GPP, you just stick with Eubanks, man. Like that's massive leverage right there, right off the hop. Devin Vassal's pushing 40%. Kelm Johnson's down at like 20%. So these are the little things with these chalky teams, man. Just switching out a player or two can create leverage, and you can still get a big piece of that, the team that deserves to be chalky. And then Derek White, he's kind of on the fringe right now. I definitely want Spurs exposure. Him being very popular may kind of let him come out of the core, but at 6K with no DeJounte Murray, it's hard to mount much of an argument that he won't have a big game. He's going to be running most of the offense. He's going to be the ball distributor. He already averages almost 6 assists with Murray in. So, he's probably going to push near 10 tonight. He's just too cheap.
He is, man. He is. And listen, that's what And here's the thing. You can't get caught up in a trap. And I've done this myself. And that's why, again, windailysports.com is where you got to go to get these projection models, get these things. Because sometimes you think, okay, everybody could be an expert, right? Who's injured? I'm just going to grab that next guy. That's not necessarily mean that guy's going to be a stud, right? You got to check the usage. Even when the guy was playing, you got to see who they're playing. Listen, could be a different scheme they're going up against. Maybe they're not going to run a stretch 4 in that lineup, right? So you got to think about that. So that's what Adam's talking about. But tonight, Derek White just absolutely too cheap. I can completely agree.
And I will say, I love Davion Mitchell again too.
Davion Mitchell's a nice play tonight. Do I get this? Do I go Steph Curry or Cat in tears?
You know where I sit.
I'm going Steph. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going Steph. I think this is a three-peat right here. I'm going Steph as well, man. This is a Steph night, man. This is Steph night. Tone wants to know any love for Siakam and Trent pairing. I'm gonna tell you guys, and Ghost, I'm sorry I know Toronto's your team, but I can't stand Pascal Siakam. He's that dude. Every time I put him in my core line, he stinks. I go on and I get the infamous snowflake every time. And I'm like, God damn it. I knew I should not, but I buy into it. Siakam, and he bones me. So I'm out. Like, I'm sorry, Tone. Listen, I can never. Siakam's out. I don't care if he throws up 70 tonight. Siakam's out for me. I'll get 70 somewhere else. But Ghost, can you pair Siakam or Trent?
No, for me, it's I say this every time. Whenever I played Fred VanVleet or Siakam, you can't pair them with any Raptor. That's just the way their game plays. You can't. If Pascal Siakam's going head down straight to the rim every single time, nobody else is touching the ball. So no, I don't play anybody else when I'm playing Pascal Siakam, and same thing for Fred.
Especially with Siakam, like 9K is a lot. That's a lot for him. At least he's
still power forward.
This is true.
Unlike Anthony
Anthony
Davis.
Davis. But like that, I'm just going to find the 800 for AD. And I know it's not the same exact because, it's center, power forward, all that. But
as you should.
Like the ceiling for AD is damn near 70 DK. The ceiling for Siakam is most likely 50-55.
And I'm telling you, every time I friggin' started him, he never even hit 50 or 55. So that's why he's on the Jigsaw dead to me list. Just saying. That list is getting big, by the way.
Makes it slightly easier, right?
I'm pretty sure Korkmaz founded that list.
Yeah, no. Actually, no. Keenan Allen found that list.
Really? That's my boy. I play him every week.
Yeah.
Kork
he found it. Like this is a DTM list going back like 3 years ago that he got
injury prone. Keenan Allen.
That was injury prone. That was leaving every game early. I know.
Yes, exactly.
That was Anthony Davis of the NFL. Yep. Keenan Allen. That's what that was.
Yeah. See, exactly.
2 drives in.
Look, so
that is what I was more impressed with last night. Not
3
the
years
stat
ago,
line, not the
ago.
30+ prop, not anything else. It was just the fact that Anthony Davis didn't go to the locker room.
Hey,
yes.
Let's keep that talk quiet, all right?
Yeah.
Leave my lineup the hell alone tonight.
Yeah. Let's not give anybody a heart attack here. Oh my God! So let's do this like we always do.
He's gonna go down the wrong tunnel because they're. I don't know if they're listed at home or away tonight.
He'll end up in the Clippers locker room.
Yeah, he's gonna end up in the wrong locker room. But
let's talk about some value here. We always talk about a couple of value plays here or there. We like to label them the FFVP. It's something I started a long time ago with baseball, just flipping it over to basketball. Again, it's just a value play. The value play that you think that's going to be low percentage, low ownership percentage, low value to give you the best reward. So Ghost nailed Isaiah Jackson, not last night, right? But we didn't talk. But before 4,100 to do was insane, right? So every now and then you get those FFVPs that could be the difference of what your lineup is. So for me, I only got one tonight. Me personally, I love me some Fred Jackson. I love it. Frank Jackson from Detroit. And again, Cade's out. He's already been getting 25, 26 minutes a game. I think tonight he hits that 30-minute barrier. He's averaging about 20, 22. I think tonight he can get you those 30-plus points that you need in that matchup. So, again, for our 3,800, depending on the way you build your core, you could be left with some really nice play room down there at the value level. So, that's why I really like Frank Jackson tonight. But, Adam, you have anybody that's a good value for everybody to play?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to get away from the Spurs, and I just kind of briefly mentioned them because I typically will live a little bit higher in the value. Davion Mitchell should not be under 5K. We talked last night that, even if he didn't start, he would have to play big minutes against Kyrie and Harden. Well, you flip the calendar one day, and now he's got Steph and Clay out on the perimeter. 4,800. I kind of personally think, and maybe I'm reading too much into this, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if De'Aaron Fox didn't play until the trade deadline. I think he banged up the ankle. I think they're just being super, super cautious just in case they can get something worked out. It's just kind of maybe galaxy braining it. But either way, you need Davion Mitchell on the perimeter tonight versus Clay and Steph. He's going to play 30 minutes. I love it as a run back.
As he should.
Yeah, as he should.
I like that. I like that call. Ghost. What do you got, buddy?
I'm not going to make it an official one. I don't. The official ones are all real chalky, so I'm trying to find a way to get around from that.
That's why I didn't really bring up the Spurs. I mean, the cheap guys are the Spurs tonight,
Yeah, it's gross. So I don't know. I don't even know if I could stomach saying his name on air, but
do it.
You know who I'm going to say too. Everyone's playing Devin Vassell at 4,500. Minnesota is shopping Patrick Beverley and Malik Beasley, and it's because of what Taurean Prince has been doing for them off the bench. And tonight, Detroit absolutely blows. They are so bad. Like, I'm really feeling a Taurean Prince performance. I'm gonna, you know what? We're making it an official one. I really like Taurean Prince as a pivot to Devin Vassell, $100 cheaper on DK. Probably, what's Vassell coming in at? Like 30%?
He's pushing 40. He's the second highest rostered player.
I would be shocked if Taurean Prince came in over 4%. So 40 versus 4. I'll take Tareem
He's
Prince tonight.
he's
like
at
that.
0.1%.
And that's going to be me. And that's going to be me. And that is going to be me. Look, the Timberwolves have already made it clear that they want to trade Bev and Malik Beasley. I mean, now with D'Lo outside of Noel, they don't really have anybody else coming off that bench. And if this game is close, they're going to play their bench, which they have been doing over the past 2 weeks. And if it gets out of hand, Tareem Prince is going to see blowout run too. So for me, it's maybe 25 minutes of Tareem Prince tonight. It's really gross, but
that's what forward is tonight.
I'm down.
Listen,
Tareem Prince.
20.
Tareem
He just
Prince.
gave you 24 for 45. I mean, like, it's not like the boy can't do it, man.
He can hoop, man. He can seriously hoop. We saw
can.
it when he was with Brooklyn. We saw it with the Cavs. Like he can really hoop. So I think they finally realized that. And if the shot is dropping, man, 3 straight games in double-digit points. I'm feeling a nice Tareem Prince night tonight.
And just as importantly, 3 straight games of 24 minutes.
Yes, consistent. I like it. I do. I like, and
it's a greasy one, man. But that it's not. I was all in Isaiah Jackson 2 games ago. Nobody knew who he was. And then last late, everybody knew who Isaiah Jackson was. And last late, it was Terry Taylor, and nobody knew who Terry Taylor was. And then next late, if Isaiah Jackson's out, everyone's gonna play Terry Taylor. I keep like that's a big thing for me. You got to find these pivots to people that nobody knows who they are, i.e. Nick Claxton of last season in October. Nobody knew who Nick Claxton was. And that's what it is. And tonight, a lot of people know who Tareem Prince is. He's been around the block, but I think everyone's just going to go basketball at 4,500. And I'm feeling some Tareem Prince at 44.
Here's a telltale sign to me as well that if you look at Tareem Prince, there's no props on DK available for Tareem Prince because
they're scared because they know I'm going to hammer it. I was adding them saying, give me Isaiah Jackson prop 2 nights ago, and they didn't post them. But guess what? Last night they had all kinds of Isaiah Jackson props up.
Yep,
all kinds, steals, blocks. Number of water bottles, squirts, what color the Gatorade was, all kinds of props on Isaiah Jackson yesterday.
And that's a sign for me because I was specifically looking when I was looking at the numbers because I love those double doubles. I'm like, listen, he's almost had a double double the last 3 games. He's been a couple rebounds short of a double double. I'm like, give me that double double. Not even available, man. Not even available.
Isaiah Jackson wasn't available 2 days ago, and it was because they saw me asking them for it.
I love it.
Tareem Prince tonight. I'm feeling it.
So as always,
he might put up like 4.7 DK. By the way, it's either going to be 4.7 or 47. Like there's going to be absolutely no in between. But that's what we do, man. It's Thirsty Thursdays. That's what we do.
Yeah, I love it. And nobody can get even thirstier when we're talking about props for profit. So again, we've been doing this. It's catching on. We absolutely love having fun with this. Again, hashtag props for profit. Get us on Twitter at Windaily Sports. You'll always see after the show, I'll start a thread. And let me tell you something. There's only been a couple guys from this show been hopping on Twitter and giving us that hashtag, there's 35 people in this chat right now. I expect at least a 25% production ratio for you guys. Not only to smash the like button, but to get on Twitter after this, follow our thread and get in there and give us your best prop. So these guys played well last night. You're still getting over that AD. What was that? Plus 210? Plus 210, Nick, right?
Plus 210. Plus 210.
That's a nice plus money prop. Now, you guys got to let me know whose is what here because I don't have any names to them.
I put Adams first. So like under his core is his props, and then under my core is my prop.
I love it. All right, so we'll go right to. Well, we know why Adam didn't want to see Anthony Davis walking in the wrong locker room tonight. So, Adam, double minus 105, which is very close to plus money. So, how you like this one?
Yeah, so hopefully it goes a little bit better than last night. I was joking with Ghost that the show just ruins my bets, and the theory was proved because I forgot to give Harden plus 10.5 assists for plus money last night. Guess what? The only prop that I bet that hit last night was the one I didn't give out, other than what I tailed Nick with. But yeah, man, Anthony Davis double-double. Obviously, the points here are not really much of a concern given, everything that he does. and you look, and he's already averaging 9.7 rebounds per game. So he's basically averaging a double-double. LeBron's off the floor. The Clippers are 23rd in rebounds in the paint.
So again, there it is right there, minus 105. And then we also have, you talk about rebounds, you talk about Bam Adebayo, but we're talking about points this time, over 18.5 points, plus 105, Adam.
Yeah, we kind of touched on it that your seven's out. So they're a little bit thin at the center spot to start with. So I fully expect Bam to play 30-plus minutes. He averages 18.1. And then you flip the stats. San Antonio's 13th in points allowed in the paint, but they are without Jakob Poeltl, and they're without Jock Lando, and they have maybe Thad Young starting against Bam Adebayo. That is a mismatch of mismatches. So give me Bam at plus money.
We had Dan the other night. Or Bam the other night. Did we hit that prop? I think you hit that, right, Ghost? The over rebound prop, right? Was over 8.5, I think.
Right, I think that was Adam actually, but I know
Adam,
we hit a.
was that
I
you,
know we
Adam?
hit a. I had a Bam on a bio prop on my slip, and it's not very often that I do, and that's likely because I tailed Adam. So, and it did hit. So yeah, it's we hit Bam the other day. It was a good night.
And we brought this up, and me, Adam, we're going to share this because this was actually in my props for profit as well with the Steph Curry over 4.5. I mean, to me, Adam, this is a no-brainer. I mean, you're plus 120, plus money. This is easily a 5 or 6 3-point line for Steph Curry.
Yeah, listen, you're giving me the best shooter of all time at this level of plus money. And then on top of that, one of the games he did go 3 for 10, but in the past 3 games, he's 16 of 34 from deep. When you start getting a guy like Curry riding hot and you give me that plus 120, sign me up. Sign me all the way up.
I'm with you there. I don't even need to add anything to it. It's perfect eloquy right there. This is definitely a double-digit attempt night, but I could definitely easily see a 6 for 10, 7 for 9 showing from Steph Curry tonight. So I really, really like this prop. And Ghost, you're going CP3 here, man. I like it. You like CP3 tonight.
I have so much invested in the Phoenix Suns tonight. It's gonna
He's gonna want to talk to Phoenix tonight if they pull a Harden.
Oh, I'm flying down there. I'm gonna find a way. I don't even know if we're allowed to get on flights at this point, but I'm gonna find a way to fly down there if something goes on.
Smuggling yourself over the Canadian border.
CP3 over 32.5 PRA. They're too scared to give us the alternate lines. I was looking for points plus assists, and they refuse to post it. They have Jay Crowder alternate points and assists for me to boost up that number to plus money. So we got to take it as it is, minus 105. CP3, 32.5. I would have taken 32.5 points and dimes, but they're giving us the rebounds on top of that. Take it. Minus 105, CP3.
And you talked about another guy earlier. This is Mr. DDR, over 27.5 plus money, man. I like it.
This one's going to be a little sweaty, 27.5. It's pretty close to the number that I have him for, but this game's going to be close. And it's believe it or not, two fairly heavyweights in the Eastern Conference. If you said that before the season, that Toronto and Chicago were looking to make some crazy moves in the playoffs this season, I likely would have told you that, no, I'm not buying it. But here they are, Chicago near the top, if not at the top of the East nearly every single week when it closes out. And Toronto's making moves, man. They're on a crazy run right now, and they're playing some good basketball with, of course, Nick Nurse running his 5.5-man rotation, running the guys 47.5 minutes a night. That's what you get. So that's what it is. Chicago's going to have to match that. No Zoe for the Bulls. They're running a pretty tight rotation themselves also. So DDR over 27.5, finding that soft spot in the zone while Scotty Barnes is preoccupied guarding Zach LaVine.
And then you said you were on a Suns train tonight. A lot invested. We're going minus 4.
I don't even know what to say, but I am I lost track of how many I put down on this.
Ghost's gonna have a bad time. Ghost's gonna have a bad time if it doesn't hit.
It's gonna be an interesting Fajita Friday stream if Phoenix doesn't show up tonight. We'll just leave it at that. But there's going to be something that's going to happen that will alter this game, and you're gonna want to grab it at this number. Phoenix minus 4.
It did move to 4.5, which is hinting at something that's going to happen in this game.
There is going to be something that will happen for this game, and you're going to want to wish you grab this number.
Look at that. I like it. That's a confident man right there. It's a confident man right there. I absolutely love it. Theo wants
And
to know we have.
you know what? We're gonna add
Yeah.
one too on the fly. We even said it today. We're gonna go on the fly.
Oh, I like this. I
This
like on
is
the fly.
if you're not a fan of the CP3, I'm giving the viewers / listeners, if you're going auditory, like we were talking about in yesterday's show while checking the model, as you should be. I know you all like to look at our beautiful faces, but you got to go auditory sometimes to check the other tools. So
Yes.
if you're not a fan of the CP3 props, I'm going to give all the viewers and the listeners the choice between CP3, or if you want to ride the Devin Booker train, because in the core I said Chris Paul or Devin Booker. If you're going Devin Booker in the core, you gotta go Devin Booker prop for profit. So Devin Booker 30 plus is at plus 105 right now to score 30 plus points. So 30 or more, same exact Anthony Davis bet as yesterday, but it's Devin Booker this time.
I like that because
Plus
that's the
105.
thing with Booker, right? I mean, he needs to, if he's gonna, what's he at, 9,500 for the night, 94.
If he's gonna hit that tag,
yeah,
it's because he's
like
dropping more than
Right.
30.
Right.
He's not dishing out 15 dimes. It'll take him a full week to dish out 15 dimes. So I guess that's what
My man ain't giving nothing up,
It can't be playing Devin Booker saying like, oh, he's gonna get 15 dimes. You're gonna be waiting a nice 3 to 5 business days for that to happen. So you gotta go out there, CP3 PRA, because that's what he does. It's just a point guard, or you're going Devin Booker 30 plus, and you're hoping for a nice Devin Booker 42-2 stat line, which is typical Devin Booker.
42-2 stat line. That is ridiculous. 42-2. Think about how ridiculous that is.
That's what he does, man. It's just he's been rebounding a bit better, but now Aiden's back, and like he doesn't actually have to go. I don't even want to say go attack the glass. He doesn't even have to go inside the key anymore. So he's out there doing his thing, and that's what he's gonna do on offense tonight against an Atlanta team that doesn't know how to play D.
Can't believe Jigsaw was, oh my gosh, Spicy
P. Spicy P just puts his head down. That's Siakam.
That's Siakam. Remember, that was DFS related. That was not the player related.
Yeah, no, everyone would want Siakam on the team. The only thing that's frustrating with Siakam, we were talking about that with my boy that commented about so we were talking, and we had Siakam over 4.5 assists, and he landed on 5. And we were talking about it. I was like, I didn't see him actually pass the ball. Like, he just puts his head down and just bull rushes to the rim every time. So that's the kind of player that he is, but it's fun when he gets to go off. I absolutely love that. Hammer that.
Look at that.
Absolutely
That's
that.
reading
CP3
right
is
now.
dishing. CP3 is dishing 15 dimes tonight.
Wow. Are we going double CP3?
A double is lock city for me.
That's a lock tonight for double for CP3?
I got
it. If his assist prop is his assist prop still at 12.5?
Double-double's minus 270, so you don't want to bet that. Let me pull up
that's
minus 270 is pretty ridiculous.
Wow.
Are the assists at 12.5 still?
Yeah, DK has it 12.5 plus 105.
I got that plus 110 this morning. I took that this morning too. I didn't give that on the show because that's a sweaty one. 13 dimes in a game, but he's gonna drop 15. It's
a lot of assists.
He's dropping 15 dimes tonight.
I like it.
He's
dropping 15 dimes.
Remember, Suns are gonna cover that number. CP3 is going off. Book's gonna have to score 30 plus. It's gonna be a good Fajita Friday stream tomorrow.
I like it. Like it. It's gonna be fun. But we're gonna listen, everybody. We're gonna end this at 6:20. Gives us about 40 minutes, especially with all those games moved up and start at 7 o'clock. So we want to get these bets in, pros for profit. We want to get these lineups in. Again, any other questions, obviously, you can hit us up at Discord. Appreciate everybody. And again, all the guys that were going in tonight, answering each other's questions and parlaying off each other. It's a beautiful thing. Had a lot of viewers tonight. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you get the subscription. And God damn it, as always, get your ass on Twitter. Right? Listen, amuse Jigsaw for a little bit. Just go on Twitter. Even if you don't like it, I don't care. Make an account, put Keenan Down face on there, make it the Jigsaw DTM squad. I don't really care. Just go on there at Windaily Sports and put hashtag props for profit and give us your favorite prop. That's all we want to do, man. We want to have some fun, get a nice long thread going so we can show everybody this great Win Daily DFS and Prosper Profit family that we have. But as always, Tony, Nick, Ghost, Adam, again, check them out every day. Their article drops. I'm telling you, man, they're consistent. 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. By 11 o'clock, if you're on there, you will see the article come out. And then obviously I will post it on Twitter as well. So if you guys are on social media, you'll be able to get there. And we had a little tidbit in there too. Again, I'm trying to preview, just so everybody knows, trying to preview what these guys do, because if you break down what they do, they believe in what they preach. And that is a big deal. So that's why they want you to believe in them. So as always, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. We'll catch you Friday night for a bigger slate and hopefully with deeper pockets.